Another day of absolute chaos at the airport in Kabul, Afghanistan. Wait until you see some of these videos today. It's going to blow your mind. And stick around for the end of the video because we have brand new comments from President Joe Biden. Why I think his speech was all wrong in just a moment. First, let's start with this. Look at this unbelievable footage. This is today on the tarmac in Kabul, Afghanistan, as this U.S. Air Force flight was attempting to take off. Look at the chaos around it. Unbelievable. Going up the jetway, trying to get into the plane. In many of these cases, they're putting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in a plane meant to carry maybe 200 or so. And it's absolute and complete and utter chaos. There is no formula, no rhyme, or no reason to what is happening. And these people who are fearing for their lives and their death at the hands of the Taliban are acting out of desperation. But where is the order of the world's largest superpower? Do you see it? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I've got way more videos to get to and other stuff that's going to blow your mind. Plus that Biden thing at the end. Hang on. Here they go. They swarm this airport, or this airplane. Look at all these people. Who is controlling the security at this airport, you might ask? When I see this on the tarmac, the U.S. military is controlling the security at this airport in Kabul, and they have a perimeter, which is basically just a chain link fence, and they keep trying to clear the tarmac, but then people, these Afghan citizens, are fleeing the country and cutting through the fence to make their way inland. Just getting started here. Wait till you see some of this stuff. Here's another mind-blowing moment. Look how desperate it's getting. They're trying to find clever ways to get people into these planes. Look at this. This person is being brought up into the flight by strap. You see this? They're pulling him up into the plane via a strap because they don't have any actual stairs. They don't have any way with stairs to get that person or all these other people onto that flight. This is just the beginning of it. It is that chaotic at the Kabul, Afghanistan airport into day 2 of this now.
They taking over the base.
Wait till you see this. Wait till this comes clear.
They are reinforcing soldiers. They are reinforcing soldiers. Yeah.
Trying to clear the actual tarmac. Shots appear to be fired.
They just warning shooting, you know.
Warning shots.
They shoot like this. But if they come to that side, probably they'll be fucked up.
You got kids out there with them?
There's kids out there, bro.
Yeah, I see kids.
Yeah, there are kids out there as you hear these people who are watching all of this go down. Absolute chaotic scenes. And this one is just one of those ones that's unbelievable. Make sure you hit the share button to pass this around to your friends. And don't forget, if you're new here, please hit follow. Now on the quest for 80,000 followers at facebook.com/thenewsjunkie. Keep your eyes open for this. This plane is attempting to take off. Watch for it. Wait. You think that's safe? You think that's supposed to be happening? They're having a hard time clearing these planes off so that they can take off. And now they have some of these Taliban figures who have taken over one side of the airport. The U.S. military appears to have the other side of the airport. And when people are attempting to work their way in, well, this happens. Now, don't worry, this person was not shot. It was just a warning shot right next to their leg to knock them down off of that wall and get them away from the airport. Many of you have already seen the video that sort of started this whole spiral. This was a plane taking off, and some of those people who were hanging out in this case on the wheels. They ended up dropping out of this flight. I'm going to show you just the beginning of this, and then once you're able to see that people fell, we'll stop there. And you can see people have dropped off from this, just in case you're wondering if this is indeed real. Well, it is. There's somebody right there. If you can't see, this is a person coming off of this plane, and the video is indeed real. It's 100% real. Video shared widely on social media of two Afghans falling from an airborne Air Force C-17 departing Kabul is real. U.S. official familiar to with the issue said that absolutely happened. Other videos show a C-17, likely the same one, swarmed on the runway before it took off. So the one that you saw, those people on the side, some of those people managed to get a hold on the landing gear or some other area, and the ones who stayed holding on, at least some of them, fell down as a result of this poorly planned, to say the very least, exit. We've got people on top of Airbus 340s on the tarmac, and they're trying to make sure that they get their seat on this flight. Here is some satellite imagery where you can see what the airport looks like with these three planes here and all of these people. These are all people. It's not ants. These are all people right here, gathered in these large spaces. Some more images right here. This is, main public square in Kabul. You see all those people walking there, and then you see all the vehicles trying to leave town. This is what they ended up with. All of these vehicles trying to leave. You can see in the satellite footage. It's stunning stuff to see this, but it is absolutely a mess. Some more satellite images before we get to the president's comments and why I think he got that wrong. This is a plane here, again, getting ready to load some passengers on. This is the passengers storming the tarmac and making their way to the planes to force their way on. Some of these planes were leaving with 800 people or more on board, more full than they've probably ever been or will be in their lives. Where are they all going? Well, 22,000 at-risk Afghans will come to the United States, according to the Pentagon. 22,000 is the number. What's his excuse for why this was such a terrible, awful, no good, very bad pullout? And the final days and final moments of the U.S. Armed Forces being in Afghanistan. Though, if you look at it, we actually have more troops on the way, and we're going to have a higher number of soldiers after the withdrawal than we had before, which doesn't make a lot of sense, right? It's like a mini surge that we're calling a withdrawal. But nevertheless, here is the president talking about the situation.
The choice I had to make as your president was either to follow through on that agreement or be prepared to go back to fighting the Taliban in the middle of the spring fighting season. There would have been no ceasefire after May 1. There was no agreement protecting our forces after May 1. There was no status quo of stability without American casualties after May 1. There was only a cold reality of either following through on the agreement to withdraw our forces or escalating the conflict and sending thousands more American troops back into combat in Afghanistan.
This is complete nonsense, and let me explain why. The heat that is on the Biden administration and the U.S. military right now really has very little to do with the withdrawal itself from Afghanistan. As you can see from this, and this is just like a week old, it's bipartisan to want the U.S. forces to withdraw from Afghanistan after 20 years. Overall, 70% of people support the withdrawal. A majority of Republicans at 56% support the withdrawal. 77% of Democrats and 73% of independents. People are not screaming, screeching, and bitching about the fact that we have withdrawn from Afghanistan. That is not the problem, friend. You know this. This is the problem. It's the manner in which the slapdash, haphazard way in which we have left this country that has already led to the deaths of many Afghans, has led to an international embarrassment, and will lead to the deaths of many more as the Taliban steamrolled in. Now, it very may well have been that the Taliban retaking the country and retaking the capital was inevitable, but it was not inevitable that this was such a disastrous withdrawal. We could have done this in an orderly way where we got these folks out of there, got the people who needed to be safe, maintained our presence, and maintained our image in the area instead of this absolute and utter mess at the hand of some desert dwelling warlords whose main mode of transport is a flatbed Isuzu truck. Well, that was the case until we left behind tanks, Humvees, drones, and tons of ammunition for them to use on their own people, men, women, and children, as the Taliban takes over. Yet another failure in the actual withdrawal plan, if there even was one, itself. It's not the fact that we left Afghanistan. As I showed you, most people support that. It's the fact that this seems to have been the least well thought out removal of troops, individuals, and enemies of the state to be that has ever happened in the history of humankind. What do you think? Let me know in your comments below. Where do you assign the blame here? What do you think about what these folks are doing? What do you think about these Afghan nationals heading back, 22,000 of them, to the United States of America, as we heard from that CBS News article? 22,000 at-risk Afghans headed back. And what do you think of just the absolute scene that we're seeing at the airport? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments section below. Do me a favor, hit that share button so that more people can see the reality of what's happening on the ground in Afghanistan, away from many of the filters of your national news organizations and cable news outlets. If you enjoyed this video, after you hit share, go over to facebook.com/thenewsjunkie, hit the follow button for videos just like this every single day. You can also subscribe at youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. Thanks to my friends on YouTube. Thanks to everybody for watching, as always. I appreciate it. Look forward to your response, and I'll talk to you again real soon.